How's it going, everyone? Tim here, Tier D Adventures. Hope everyone's all well there. As always, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. So, next up is another VRD. So this was my VRD carbon kit, and it is currently sitting on with the Brazin Hardline chassis. We did a video on it not that long ago. Well, it is up here back on the bench, ready for a new one. So we have the Brazin Frontline chassis. That is a VRD base chassis, but it will have a little bit of builder's aspect on it. So with this chassis, with the front line and front and the stock rails behind, we can see some significant changes there. You can see a whole lot of, chassis cleared up there, and then underneath all of this, everything around, all that clearance right there, everything back here smoothed up, but also skid mount. So with the front line, we are taking the skid and we are moving it forward, actually. So we're going to put more of that weight forward, again, assisting with that breakover and stuff like that. As you know me, I am personally, especially in my local area, I am more of a fan and use a lot more of forward-based chassis and stuff like that. So this front line here kind of nails it on the head. Plus, with as much as I absolutely enjoy but both the VRD Carbon or the Stance, either of those platforms, I like the crap out of them. So anything that's going to give me even more performance and competitiveness out of it, we're kind of all for it. Not that Hardline isn't capable, because it is very capable. It pulls really good fun lines there in our local area. I've yet to be unimpressed by any of the build aspect, but we're going to kick it up just a little bit more. So like I mentioned, it's going to be a little more on the builder's aspect. So this is not going to be a 100% bolt-on kit. It's going to use the VRD as your base, but because that skid and everything's moving forward, we're going to have some things change. So one of those things is links. It will require a new link set to accommodate for the skid repositioning. So I got set here from Hardcore RC for the Brazin Frontline, and I'm going with a 12.8-inch wheelbase. So this out, we're also going to be stretching it out just a little bit from its 12.5-inch wheelbase that it comes. So everything else is going to relatively stay the same, minus the servo mount. I am going to go from the behind the axle mount back to the forward front servo mount, just because everything's moving that far forward. With the stubby VFD, that's gonna bring that all the way in too close. So we're gonna swap that back. Not a big deal. I'm not that worried about it. In addition to those, drive shafts. Now these are your standard plastic drive shafts. So if you've done plenty of other builds or have had other kits and stuff like that, lots of them come with different pieces, so you can build and change links. So if you have some of those laying around, like I do or others do, that won't be that big of a deal. You can swap in some longer center pieces, shorter center pieces. You can make configurations to make those drive shafts shorter or smaller. So if you have extra pieces from other builds and kits and stuff like that, you're gonna be fine. I'm sure you'll find something that works. If not, next best thing is some cut to link drive shafts from like Deluxe Fab or XORC. Those cut to link drive shafts have made especially custom builds so much easier. So let's go ahead and get some links assembled and get everything going. I've said, other than links and some drive shafts, it's still a pretty standard, straightforward swap. Moving some rails, swap it over your links, putting on the new rails. So I'm going to go ahead and get after it, and then probably go ahead and take it out, get on the rocks, and then we'll be back on the bench, show the final product and how I'm liking it. All right, so we got the front line all finished up here, and finally got out to take it out for some spins. So we'll have some crawling footage up here very shortly, but overall, super happy with the way everything came out. Definitely nice there. Definitely picked up quite a bit of clearance here in the rear, right behind that skid area. So definitely nice. Again, helping with that breakover and things like that. Whether you use one of the VRDs, whether the Carbon or the Stance, as a donor into this, or you've acquired the Stance pieces like the transmission, stuff like that, this is a great setup for a even ground up or custom build, stuff like that. So definitely nice having options out there for any builder, whether you're new into the scene or been doing it a while and just like doing custom builds and always putting your own twist on stuff. So again, just another great solid option. But everything went together super smooth, everything there. I did go ahead and get a winch mount installed. So that winch mount is from Black Diamond Scalers, and they have a couple winch mount variations for the VRD platform, whether it be for full-size servo winches or micro servo winches and stuff like that. Went in, bolted up really nicely, got everything right there, and routed my winch line. Everything went good. And I am using the winch with the Vanquish radio that comes with the RTRs. It is a 4-channel radio. So channel 4 is right here, and it is a 3-position switch. You just got to be careful because it's not It's not a toggle, it's not momentary. It goes forward, stays there, and stays back. So you definitely have to be on it, especially if you have like a fast winch and stuff like that. But I went out and used it. Everything worked really, really good. For body here, we had a bug body laying around, so we did some aggressive cutting. I had one of the Vanquish 3D printed engines that go, that's actually a servo mount cover for like the VS410 platform. That thing's always just been kicking around. It always finds its way back into a build. I just thought it was just a nice little fit, you know, something a little different. But overall, everything came out good. Super happy with the way the build came out. Once again, just the VRD platform itself is just a really awesome platform. Plenty of options out there, plenty of chassis support and stuff like that. So I'll get the Brazin Frontline chassis link down below, as well as the chassis mount, and I will link the new Voodoo wheels and tires on there, because those are what changed from the rest of the build for like electronics and stuff. Nothing's changed since the initial VRD builds that I did on the Brazin here, the Hardline and now the Frontline chassis. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's check out some crawling footage. Until next time, everyone, have a great one. Crawl on.